Okay, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully your favorite Darktide YouTuber, and today I'm bringing you the Loner Stealth Zealot build. Many of you guys have seen this build on stream and you guys have been really excited for it. What I'm going to say first and foremost is that yes, it is true, this build has close to a 100% win rate. It is, however, very skill dependent, so I'm going to say that up front. If you do not get the same kind of results that you would have seen on the stream, alright, link is in the description of the video, by the way, to the stream where we tested this with total randoms. If you do not get the same results, then it is more or less because of the skills required to pilot this build correctly. I'm also going to state that this build was designed by Sean. He sent me his build in an email, and I took a look at it in the build editor and everything. So it's going to differ, like his version, which is in the description, all right? I did not change his version. His version, which is in the description, has some slight differences from mine. The differences is mostly in the curios, and I'll go through that in the curio section of this video, okay? So that's basically it. I'm going to cover everything as quickly as I can so that I can get to the strengths and weaknesses of the build, and basically I will show you guys how to build this. So first, camera vanish, and then let's talk about it. Okay. When it comes to this particular build, right, what you're going to need to do is go down the right-hand side of the tree. You're basically going to become a Death Cuddle Assassin. So you're going to get Backstabber for 20% damage on melee backstab hits. Scourge, melee criticals will apply bleed, causing damage over time, which is great. Okay, the melee hits on bleeding enemies grant you 10% critical chance for 3 seconds, which is absolutely fantastic. Toughness boost as well. You've got Enduring Faith, where you gain 50% toughness damage reduction on critical hit for 4 seconds, which is a long time. Blades of Faith, whenever, this will basically allow you to throw knives, and when you throw knives, right, you will replenish a knife every time you kill an elite or special enemy with a melee attack, all right? And every time you pick up an ammo box, it replenishes knives. Do not pick up ammo boxes to replenish knives, okay? You should be able to replenish them with good melee techniques, okay? So if you do not melee to replenish your knives, you're basically doing it wrong. Don't pick up an ammo box unless you actually need it. This is one of the main rules of Blades of Faith. If you take an ammo box that somebody else could use just because you want to replenish a knife, that's a bad idea. It only replenishes 2 knives anyway, okay? So get your knives back by melee killing the specials and elites, which you should do anyway. Grab your toughness damage reduction and toughness boost here. Then grab your melee damage boost, movement speed boost, and duelist. Duelist will give you 50% weak spot and critical hit damage for 3 seconds on a successful dodge. Absolutely amazing in hordes. This is what will help you shred your enemies, assuming that Duelist has been fixed. If it hasn't been fixed, let me know. I've been running with this and it's just working fine as far as I can tell, so let me know if there's a problem with this, yeah? Okay, Dance of Death here, you have to take it, you got no choice. But every time you dodge an attack, you will have minus 75% spread and minus 50% recoil for 3 seconds. Furthermore, Thy Wrath Be Swift makes it so that enemy melee attacks cannot stun you. On taking damage, you will gain 15% movement speed for 2 seconds. This is useful because Thy Wrath Be Swift will basically allow you to stay in combat even if you take a hit to your toughness. But because the melee attacks cannot stun you, you can get smashed really fast in melee because you will not be staggered. So be very careful with this. You have to play this out smart. Okay, get very used to dodge dancing because that's the only thing that's going to save you. That Wrath Be Swift is good, but be very careful with this. All right, it can with poor skill level, it can lead to your death instead. Good balance. Okay, a successful dodge will grant you 25% damage reduction for 2.5 seconds. This is pretty good. Ambuscade, 20% damage to range backstab attacks. This is like something you are forced to take. The other thing is that you could also take Grievous Wounds, which gives you 50% stagger on melee weak spot hits if you don't really want Ambuscade, but sometimes if you have to shoot somebody in the back, this is helpful. So then you go with Loner, all right? Then you get your Stamina Boost, and you get your Shroudfield. Shroudfield will allow you to enter stealth for 3 seconds, and while you're in stealth, you have 20% movement speed, 100% extra backstab damage, 100% extra finesse damage, and 100% critical chance. So your hit out of stealth is going to be a crit no matter what. It'll have a bonus 100% finesse damage, so make sure you get a weak spot, so you're not only critting, you're also hitting the weak spot, and it has 100% extra backstab damage. Combine that with a Mastercrafted Shroudfield, giving you 6 seconds on your stealth, and Invigorating Revelation. where you replenish 40% toughness over 5 seconds on leaving stealth, and you gain an extra 20% damage reduction for 5 seconds. This is pretty helpful. All right, so when you leave stealth, you replenish your toughness and you gain some damage reduction. So with the amount of times you can stealth in a horde, this is actually pretty good. All right, this will just help you out. Grab your melee damage boost and activate Sustained Assault. This will give you up to 20% extra melee damage for 5 seconds. So once you get 5 hits in, the next enemy is going to be taking 20% extra melee damage. All right, this will stack, like the 4% will stack up to 5 times, therefore equaling 20%. And you can just keep stacking it to keep it active as long as you're striking in melee. Very useful for deleting hordes. Toughness damage reduction here. Faithful Frenzy for the increased melee attack speed. There's no reason why you should be going without this. Grab Suppression Boost because you need to get punishment. All right. Neither of this is important to you, but you need it to access the rest of the tree. Movement speed boost makes you faster. Invocation of Death is crucial because every critical hit you do will reduce your combat ability by 1.5 seconds. So you always be able to reduce your stealth cooldown. You've got Blazing Piety, which gives you 15% critical hit chance for 8 seconds when in Fury. Fury is triggered when 25 enemies have died within 25 meters. 25 meters is a huge radius. All right, so you're basically always going to have Blazing Piety up. Fury Rising, critical hits will also count up toward triggering Fury, basically meaning Blazing Piety is always active. And getting an extra 10% critical hit chance from Blazing Piety brings us up to 25% critical hit chance, which means that everything overall is just going to give you lots and lots of crits. So this build is heavy on the crits, gives you tons of damage reduction, gives you stealth as a way to get out of trouble, and basically you can rush enemy gunners. You can literally charge an enemy gunner position, stab out a gunner, all right, one-shotting him with a backstab, and then just go ham on the rest of them, all right, which is how you help your team. Again, all of this is demonstrated in an entire stream where I played with randos. The link is in the description. You can watch the whole thing if you like. And I've also included a bit of a combat demonstration at the end of this. Now, what kind of equipment are you going to need for this build to really shine? Okay, here's what you're going to need in terms of equipment. We will start right at the top. You're going to use a combat blade for your melee weapon. What do you need on your combat blade? Damage, finesse, first target. These three are your priorities, as well as mobility. Mobility just needs to be above 70%, but again, it depends on your rolls. Penetration, anything above 60% is good enough for you. All right, you're not going to see a lot of difference between 60 and 80, but what I am going to say, honest to God, this is really your choice, but if you want, roll penetration high as well. But it would depend on how much RNG you're willing to take, and quite frankly, it's more important to get the right blessings and perks on this, okay? So in terms of your blessings, Lacerate 4 would be better, and Precognition 4 would also be better. But I happen to roll 3 on both of these, so I went with that. For my perks, I went with Unyielding Enemies, all right, for a little bit extra boss and Ogre damage, and 10% melee critical hit damage. You already have so much critical chance with this build, you don't need the extra 5%. Some people would feel that the extra 5% makes a difference. I say it really doesn't. I'd rather have more damage on my critical hits, okay? So this is what I went with for the knife. For the range weapon, you are going to want a Stub Revolver. For your Stub Revolver, it is most important that you get Surgical and Hand Cannon 4 as your blessings. These are your priorities. In terms of stats, you want damage, penetration, critical boost. These are your 3 main priorities. Mobility and reload speed, as long as either of them is above 60, you're good to go. You're not going to see a drastic difference between 60 reload speed and 80 reload speed. Okay, so this is basically what I've got on my revolver. Priority is damage, penetration, critical bonus, and of course damage takes the biggest priority, yeah? Now, for your perks, okay, range critical hit damage is good. And the other thing, you can take whatever you want. I happen to roll specialist on it. I went with that. I was satisfied. But the critical hit damage is important because you're going to be using surgical, and every time you crit, you can help yourself take out armored targets. Okay, so that's what I've got on my revolver. Now, the last part of this is, before we talk about strengths and weaknesses, is the curios. The curios that I have are different to what is in the build link. Why? Because I found that 3 max stamina is good enough for me. So on my 3 max stamina, I've got max health, damage resistance gunners, and toughness regeneration speed. For my toughness, I went with toughness regeneration speed, damage resistance gunners, extra toughness. Then for my health, I went with stamina regeneration, more max health, and toughness regeneration speed. You'll notice I'm using a lot of toughness regeneration speed and only 2 damage resistance gunners. You only need about 2 damage resistance gunners to get a decent enough effect. I found that the third one is a bit extra, so I replaced that with stamina regeneration to give myself more stamina, okay, in combat and the like. And also, toughness regeneration speed, because you're using Loner, all right? Loner means that you always count as being in 2 coherency. So you're always able to regenerate your shields. Now, your shield regeneration is not going to be very high, but by having that toughness regeneration, this is boosted. So if you feel that toughness regeneration is not for you, or you want something else, you can go with something else. It's up to you, but this is what I'm doing so far, and this is what has worked for me. It has just gotten me through everything, all right? So this is the overall build. Now, when it comes to the strengths and weaknesses of this build, I'm going to try and go through it really quickly. What you have to understand is that movement with this build is very important. So you're going to want to learn how to move fast and start backstabbing, okay? Getting a backstab crit on a weak spot, you can get close to one-shotting a mutie, all right? Especially if you get a crit, which is why if you go into Shroud and then you backstab somebody, they will die, okay? You'll see this in the combat demonstration, but ideally this build obviously does not use any of the stealth exploits or whatnot. You gain your stealth back very fast by meleeing through hordes, okay? And the faster you get through hordes, the faster you get stealth back. What I'll normally do is that if I see gunners at a distance, I'll go Shroudfield, get around behind them, stab someone in the head, and start throwing knives. All right? Now, the knives are not going to do anything to Carapace armor. Take a look at this. It does nothing. It does nothing. So where do you use your knives? Headshot. The gunners. Use this as a quick throw, if necessary. You can use it to take out maniacs. Even this guy with the flak armor, you can take them out. Take out Dogarinos. You know, all of these. But in order to get them back, you are going to have to kill specialists, elites, all that. Alright? So the more you kill them, the quicker you get your knives back. Alright? Do not be picking up ammo boxes. Ammo boxes will only restore 2 knives, and if you can always pick up an ammo box even if you have full ammo because of this. So be very careful around ammo pickups because your team will probably not appreciate it if you're stealing too many of these. Now, the knives can technically go through 1 Poxwalker, if I'm not wrong. So yes, it can go through 1 Poxwalker to get to an actual target behind it. So make sure you do that with your knives, okay? If you see 1 Poxwalker in front of it, if you're in front of your target, just go ham. But you're not going to do very much against unyielding targets, so please don't use your knives for that. Your knives are mostly for these little guys. Now, when it comes to your revolver is designed. Now, while you're not going to get the same value as a veteran, you can still help your team with good crits to pop Carapace armor targets like Crushers. Okay? For Maulers, make sure you just stack up your surgical enough, and you're good to go. Alright? Simple stab will take it out. So don't be afraid to use your revolver to take out targets as well, because with surgical and blazing piety, it's very easy to do pretty much the same kind of job that your veteran would do. Okay, so just be aware of that. When it comes to bulwarks, just make sure that you are using your dodge dance to move around. All right, and you can strike down on the back like that to get backstab damage, do a lot of damage, hit the weak spot, all that kind of stuff. So get very used to your knife's push attack so you can strike down. All right. This is what will help you usually take out targets really quickly. All right. Last but not least, your special attack can be used to trigger into a heavy, but this is something that I really recommend only on certain targets, especially if you got, like, for example, a Crusher, and you want to whack it from behind and start doing backstab damage. Yes, you can do something like this. It'll allow you to inflict the bleed and also stack up your critical chance on a bleeding target, therefore allowing you more opportunities to crit while backstabbing the Crusher. Okay, but just be aware that for some folks, it's a lot slower, all right, than just doing this once you've gotten the target bleeding. So I leave the choice to you. Some people prefer this so that they can stack up the bleed as well and not have to worry about it. So they just do this and they get it themselves into a good pattern. It's really up to you what you want to do with the knife. Now, the other weakness is that you don't have coercive spiritual fortitude, so you can't really help your team. This is a build where you function independently of your team. But it doesn't mean that you stay completely out of coherency with them. No, you've got to retreat to your team, protect your team, be that guy that charges the gunner line and then comes back to the team. All right, if you watch the stream, you'll see me retreating, going in, you know, getting out, all that kind of stuff. Get very used to using your dodge and get very used to using the space around you. All this is really important with this build. If used correctly, you will have close to 100% win rate. Used poorly, you are going to do very badly with this build, okay? So I'm just going to say that up front, all right? Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. The combat demonstration will be coming after our thank yous, but I really want to thank all the channel members and supporters and the top supporters who have made all these videos possible. Starting right at the top, okay, I'm going to thank the following individuals. Our top tipper for this month is Michael Washington. Top tipper list includes Gator Guy, Leo Reinhardt, Cheryl Danville, Nisk. Thank you guys so much. Top super chatter is Orange Shivs. Top super chatter list consists of Chanel Name, Ganzalope, Jonas Gustav, Nightshade, Six Guns All. Thank you guys so much. Top channel membership gifter is Nightshade. In terms of our top channel members, we have the following individuals to thank. Thank you to Death Dawning 982 for being at Plus Ultra. Thank you to Nisk for being at the only fan level. These are our top 2 right now. In terms of our prestige robots, we've got Rapto, Tello, Arcane, Akue, Chanel Name, Six Gun, Yuri, Rogue Assassin, and Zach NFG. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you to all of our honored robots as well. Thank you to Uncontrolled, Orange Shivs, Nightshade, Sleepless Night, HD Pork, Matchstick Jim, Gator Guy, Saya, Wild Hunt, Timbo, Simple Spider, Kaloom, Albert, Twanigren, Donald Smith, Some Dummyhead, Lufan, The King, Curry, Link Octavian, Philip, Yuno, BVS Fang, Vikram Bao, Commander Farsight, Atomica, Devin Lashin, Mookie Mocha, Rena, Nathan Strong, Lady Neo, Joey Danze, Sayed Assad, Coda CMF, Kami SMH, and Benjamin Savage. Thank you all so much. Thank you to all of our cool and weird bots as well. I'll see you guys on the next one. Enjoy the combat demonstrations coming in right now. Have fun.
William, nice match.
You know what? Because we have no veteran to regenerate ammo here, I'm gonna actually use that trick. Dim. Oh no. Oh, come on. This little punk. How rude of him. I got you, man. I got you. Mostly because I want the melee kills. Give me the melee kills. Ha 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 ha. You can't stop me because I'm invisible. Nervo. Really? Really? This.
You will not see me, scummers.
Oh, come on. This freaking Bidoof.
William, nice man.
Yeet. I got you. Dang. Backstab.
Oh, the happy devil. It's a happy devil.
Did that Rager just ignore me? How dare it? Did you guys see? Okay, this one did not. Rather rude. The first one just runs past me. The second one's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna kill this guy now. This makes logical sense to me. Oh dear. Who dared touch me?
Stunners, I will find you.
No. How dare they touch me?
We've killed yon trapper. Long shot to its enemy in cover.
Unheard open, eh? What about that? A little trash panda. Saving ammo.
Ye will not see me, Skunners. Drag gunner!
Can't aggro me. You can't even see me. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm in your base and I'm killing your dude. You have run out of blurps. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. No. Would you kindly, Scunner? First rule of not being a Scunner.
Fear the shadow scars.
Hello, Tello. Tello Jello.
By the saints, I haven't. Cover me!
I thought the God Emperor might say.
That's proper smoke.
No, no grenade inbound. You guys okay?
Concealed from heritage.
Gusto, you are free to go. I run the medic.
God Emperor, let me walk unseen.
Every one of you! We've slain the
That was not pleasant. I literally tried to get him while stealth, but I got stuck. But don't worry, when I edit this footage for the build video, I will edit out the part where I got stuck and just show the part where I did the sick throw.
I striped in shadow.
La 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 la.
vacuum capsule!
Good out by that sound.
No escape!
This is because the 20 is only in your imagination. It's definitely 80, 100%. And that is why, mates. It's because your brain is lying to you, that's all. It is definitely 90 FPS or more. Don't let your brain lie to you, bro. Darktide is fully optimized, man. There you go. Victory.